small, man. You feel me? Do the real nigga walk through for me. Hey. I be chillin' like the man when I walk through. Ain't stunning what you saying when I walk through. I got all these staring when I walk through. I done make a few bands on the walk through. Watch me, they watch me walk through. Watch me, they watch me walk through. Watch me, they watch me walk through. I done make a few bands on the walk through. I done make a few bands on the walk through.
Top of the morning, everybody. Top of the morning. If you're a Patriots fan, you walking into work just like that. You know, if you're a Patriots fan, you walking in just like that. Oh man, top of the morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a beautiful and blessed morning, ready for an amazing day. You know, second day in the week, we going after it. We're not sitting still. We're not being complacent. We're making waves. We're taking the first steps. We're doing it. And we had an amazing Monday Night Football game. So let's dive right into it. This is the breakdown. X's and O's with Nate Ness. I'm your host, Nate Ness. Man, week 13. As I said before in my prior breakdowns and my prior analysis, that this week going forward, we're going to see some of the most amazing football that we've seen all year, because teams are playing for a purpose. Teams are playing for their postseason lives and whatnot. So there's no margin for error. You know, guys are going to go out there and you can't lay no eggs. You got to go out there and just really execute your game plan and just play the best disciplined fundamental football that you've played all year. And that's what we saw last night. Now, this is a big AFC East rivals matchup between the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. And this was a perfect way, in my opinion, to close out week 13. I mean, this game had everything. It had the build-up. The teams are respectively playing for really the number one overall seed in the playoffs right now and for the division. You know, the weather played a big factor in the game, and a huge factor to where passing wasn't really an option. So you know what? It was all about defense, running the game, and who was going to make the necessary plays and wear the opposing team down. And you know what? Rookie Mac Jones really wasn't, anything. I mean, I hate to say this, but, he only threw 3 passes. You don't laugh, but he only threw 3 passes. He completed 2 of them for 19 yards. That's how impactful the wind and the weather was last night. But the Patriots, their game took off in the rushing department. And I mean, as a team, they rushed for 222 yards and a touchdown. Damian Harris led the way with 10 carries for 111 yards, 1 touchdown, but he left the game second half because of a lingering hamstring issue. So hopefully it doesn't linger too long. He can get healthy and whatnot. So Ramondre Stevenson came in and took the bulk of the carries, and he just looked very good. He chipped in 78 yards on 24 carries, and Brandon Bolden had 28 yards on 4 carries. And this just was a great showing. It was a great showing by this New England Patriots team. You know what, they're playing how Bill Belichick wants to play. If you know how he wants to play, he really wants to run the ball, play solid defense, and just really do good on special teams, especially when it comes to the change of field position and everything. He plays disciplined, mistake-free football. You know what? He doesn't need Mac Jones to go out there and try to make a play. I love Mac Jones that he realizes that, hey, take what the team, take what the defense gives you. You have a great defense in your back pocket. Don't put them in no harm's way. Don't put them in a bind or anything. Just go out there and play within the scheme of the game. The plays are going to come. And I can say this, the Patriots defense, oh man, they really stepped up and stood out. You know what? They made plays when needed to make plays. And I mean, if anything, the game ball goes to the Patriots defense. And just how Bill schemed this team, how him and Steve, called the game. Again, it was just an amazing game. Just overall, I enjoyed it. Now, on the other hand, the Bills, they really couldn't do anything. Offensively, they really were just lackadaisical on offense. Couldn't really get anything going. I mean, the weather played a huge part in that, and they were worn down by the Patriots. I mean, Josh Allen, wasn't really good. I mean, went 15 for 30 for 145 yards. He did have 1 touchdown, but again, with that wind blowing, you had to pick and choose your moments of when you were going to throw the ball, because you didn't want to throw the ball into the wind. So you really had to really pick your moments. He also had 6 carries for 39 yards. And the Bills running game couldn't get any traction. And I commend the Patriots because they weren't allowing the Bills to get anything going. I mean, they came in there and were business from the opening drop. You know, Stephon Diggs led the receivers with 4 receptions for 51 yards, and Gabriel Davis had a receiving touchdown. But to be honest with you guys, this game was really about the Patriots. The Patriots have really been playing some solid football. They have really gotten back to the fundamentals in the Patriot way, which the Patriot way is quite simple. You know, you do your job. You play fundamentally sound. You go out there and know your assignment and do your assignment. They want to run the ball, control the clock, play really, really good defense, execute on third down, both offensively and defensively. Play great special teams. I mean, amazing special teams. Because special teams is a hidden yardage play or a hidden yardage factor. And they can win you a game, but it can also lose you a game. So that's what the Patriots are doing. And with this win, they take over the number one position in the AFC playoff picture, and they take over the number one position in the AFC East division. And they get a big win, and I commend them 14-10. So, final thoughts on the week. Oh man, where do I begin? You know, we had some amazing, competitive, and just great football. But expect to see that in the weeks coming, because again, teams are playing for their playoff lives. Teams are playing for seeding. You know, but again, you want to play your best football into December, going into January. You want to get it going, and that's what New England is doing right now. They're getting it going in the midst of this 7-game winning streak. They're playing some of the most phenomenal football, and they're getting back to their basics. Last night was a prime example of it. So guys have to continue to work. Don't get complacent. Continue to challenge yourself each day to get better. The mental, drive, the mental challenge of this long, gruesome season. You got to be mentally there, mentally and physically. You got to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. And guys, continue to get better. Stay in that film room. Stay in that book. Stay getting your body right. You know what? Improve off what you made mistakes on the week before, and go into this next week. You know what? Hey, I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to make this mistake. I'm going to get better. This team does A, B, and C when they cross the 50. I'm prepared for it. So again, know the chess game and be prepared for the chess match. So until we meet each other, until we meet again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is the Breakdown, X's and O's with Nate Ness. Everybody have a beautiful and blessed day, and just let's go.